Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this 69th episode of the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. Welcome to the 69th episode of the show. The episode is called Nice. Where's Joey at? Joey, where you at? Where's Alva at? I figured that Joey and Alva would be able to help me out here with this episode, and good. How do you find your voting history? We can talk about that. We can talk about that. You can simply go to your local county clerk, not your city clerk. If you live in a town, you don't go to the town clerk. If you live in a city like Anderson or Muncie or Winchester or Richmond, you don't go to the city clerk. You go to the county clerk, the Delaware County clerk, the Madison County clerk, the Randolph County clerk, the Henry County clerk. And you cannot look it up online. No, you cannot look it up online. You can email that clerk's office a records request telling them that you want a copy of your voting record, and they will provide it to you. I just recently, and everybody's going to freak out as soon as I say this, save your freak out until you listen to the entire phrase. I just recently, yesterday, 2 days ago, sent a records request to the Randolph County clerk for Lisa Friend's voter history. And I asked for it, and they provided it to me like 2 hours later. And some people are going to be like, what? How dare they? They shouldn't be able to give you their voter history. They shouldn't be able to give you the voter history of anyone other than yourself. Wait, what do you mean? They shouldn't have your voter history. Your voter history shouldn't be on record. Oh my. Calm down. They don't know. Well, let's face it. I don't know if they know who you vote for or not. Do we think they know who you vote for? Yeah, probably. The whole system's probably rigged. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. That's not what I'm talking about. When we're talking about voter record, voter history, what we simply mean is how many times in the last 10 years have you voted? Do you vote consistently? Do you vote every election? Do you skip the primaries and just vote in the general elections? Do you only vote in presidential elections? Do you go in and you pull a Republican ballot every primary? Do you pull a Democrat ballot? Do you pull a Democrat ballot every time? Do you pull Republican and then Democrat and then Democrat and then Republican, and then Democrat? So they don't tell people stand by and I'll show you. I will pull up the voter history for Miss Lisa Friend, and I'll show you exactly what we're looking at. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me 1 second here, and I will show you what we're looking at. And it's not anything that's crazy. It's not bad. It basically, it just shows how consistently or inconsistently someone votes is literally all it does. So, for example, if you pulled my voter history it would show me voting ever since I voted the very first time when I was 17 years old in the primary, because I would be 18 years old by the time the general pulled around. So the very first time I voted was, whatever year that was, and then going forward. So let's check here. I'm gonna show you here. There. Show you like this. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Not think I want to. It's a public document. You would come up here to tell me that? Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, you pull it up? Did you? What happened there? Are you seeing it on the screen? Try to do it this way here. I don't know why that was not doing that. I don't know why it wasn't doing that. That's weird. So this is a public document. Anyone and everyone can get their hand on it. It says voter overview, name, friend Lisa D, status active, county Randolph, precinct Winchester 4, split, address, which we know she doesn't live there. So it's not like it's not like I'm doxing her because she doesn't live there. For 2014 general election, full ballot, Randolph County, and it tells what's polled. So she's voted here, and then here she's voted in all of these elections. So did like 2022, she polled primary election, she pulled a Republican ballot. She did not vote absentee, she did not vote provisional. She voted in Randolph County. In 2020 general election, she pulled a full ballot. So there, it wasn't like she just voted for school board or something. She voted absentee in 2020. She did vote absentee. She did not vote provisional. 2020 primary, she pulled a Republican ballot. She did not vote absentee, no provisional. In 2019 municipal election, full ballot, she did vote absentee. And all that means is she could have walked in and voted early. She could have voted some other way. So that's all this means. So this is what it shows you this. 2014, 2012, 2011. No on all of these, no provisional. She voted on all of this. Republican full ballot, Republican full ballot. So if she wanted to run for an election for state government or whatnot, and she wanted to run as a Republican, and the higher ups did not want her to, there would be nothing that they could do about her, and they would say she has a good voting record as a Republican. She, matter of fact, has never polled a Democrat ballot. So it is what it is. I'm not saying that that's necessarily a good or bad thing. It's just what it is for her. So anyone can get these. They are public documents, and you can call and request mine. You can call and request mine from Randolph County. You can call and request mine from Delaware County. I can call and request Catherine's. I could contact Alaska and request Diane's. Yeah, I could call and get Kate's. It is what it is. It just shows if you vote on election day, and it shows if you vote if you poll a Republican ballot or a Democrat ballot. Yeah, so that is what it is. So I can't look up your own. You can look up your own record. Yes. You can look up your own record. You absolutely can do that. But what you can't look up who you voted for. You can simply look up what I just had on that screen. You could contact the Madison County Clerk's office and tell them that you wanted that, and they could send that to you. So that is exactly that's that. So it's very easy, and it would be very, very easy to do. Diane Baker's Sproul said you didn't have one because he didn't have the actual. He doesn't realize that some people interact on social media under fake names. He wasn't smart enough. This dude is seriously a cop, and he doesn't realize that. That's hilarious. Yeah, Kate, she's been sending it to us in the downstairs message. That's what I call phones. I don't know why the down message thing. So yeah, that's that. All right, folks. There are not fake. Well, no, I know it's not a fake name per se. It's just not the name, I guess, that it's like an alias. Mine would show a variety, which is why neither party would support me if I wanted to run. Just used long ago. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what's really kind of crappy, Charlize, because if you have a strong vote record for, every time you've voted, and say you voted since you've been 18, you have a strong vote history. To me, I don't look at someone that has voted both sides of the ballot as being bad during the primary. You got to look at it, folks. For example, in Henry County or in Randolph County, and a lot of other areas, you will have, like Newcastle. It is primarily a Republican county. It's 98% Republican, or maybe more. There are Democrats there. Sometimes they might go 2 or 3 or 4 election seasons or cycles with no Democrat candidates. Or maybe there are Democrats on the ballot, but they're running for township way up north, or they're Democrats on the ballot for District 1, but you live in District 4. So when you, as a Democrat, go vote in Henry County, if you want to have any kind of say in the election, if you go vote and pull a Democrat ballot, you can go pull a Democrat ballot and just go down and give confidence votes to everybody that's going to win. Or you can say, I'll take a Republican ballot, and you can do what you want. You can do the old Limbaugh Operation Chaos, and you can vote for the worst candidates. Or you can say, I want to pick the best Republicans out of the worst Republicans, or vice versa. Same thing goes for when you live in a really heavy Democrat area and you're a Republican. It happens all of the time. So it is what it is. That's why all of that stuff is trash. Straight party voting is trash. And I'm getting worse and worse on all of that. The longer it goes, the further down the pipe we go. So it's kind of interesting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is going to be kind of a tonight it's going to be a little bit of a catch-all. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. I am going to, towards the end of the show, I am going to give my picks. I'm going to give the people that I would like to see win, the people that I believe will win, and yeah, I think that's it. The other day I said there was 3 of them, but I don't really remember what the other one was. People that I would like to win, people that should win, because sometimes that's different, and then the people who I think will win. I guess those 3. So maybe it's like 2.5. So I will be talking about that. And look, there are going to be people on here who's going to probably, maybe people's feelings will be weird, or people will be like, what? I wouldn't vote for that guy, whatever. So it is what it is. I just want to tell you that. Number 2, I want to talk a little bit about last night's thing, just so you guys can know kind of a little bit more background information, just so you guys are aware. I'm surprised I haven't got more pushback on last night's interview than I have. I kind of expected that people would be a little bit more pissy about it. I guess people either, one of 2 things. They either got that it was a piss take and they took it for what it was and gave it a chuckle, or they were just so enraged by it they just turned it off. Well, I was going to talk about, I can. Well, why don't we do this? Because I've got like a full show. Can we have you come on tomorrow, and then I can have you come on at the beginning of the time? Is that possible? Would that be possible? Or, I mean, are you going to be up for a minute? I know you said you've been going to bed late. I mean, if you can hold off for a minute, I can bring you on here in a minute. I just don't want to make you late. But there are things I've got to try to get through that I've put off for a couple days. And he says yes for like a multiple choice answer. One of the things that I did not want to happen is I didn't want, because it stopped for a while. Okay, yeah, we can do that then, Audie. One of the things that I did not want to happen was I did not want people to start in the nonsense where people were saying I knew it. Bilbrey's the city of Munis. I am not the city of Munis. Um, uh, I know every Halloween. I know, isn't that crazy, Mary? Um, I am not the city of Munis. I've never been the city of Munis. I would like to believe that we here at our team, it wasn't um, the political spotlight back then. Back then, it was perception is reality. Were the first ones to actually talk heavily about the city of Munis. And I can't even take the credit for it because it was really the Muncie Mayor Dan Ridenauer's HR director at the time. Hello, Wanda Mice. It was Nancy Lindell who misspelled the city that she worked for. I mean, that's like misspelling your name. It's like if I came on here and spelled my name Bilrbey, you know, like that's ridiculous. You know, if I came on and I said I get you. If I came on and said hey, I'm Chris, Kirs, people would be like, what in the hell? If you're working for the city of Muncie, you would figure you would probably spell Muncie correctly. And look, here's the deal. Um, the thing is, yeah, right. If you fat finger it once, everybody makes mistakes. But this woman routinely put out press releases from the city of Munis to the point that we all started like calling it like city of Munis. I feel pretty confident in the fact that I think we coined city of Munis and then somebody else ran with it. I feel pretty confident in the fact that we coined Danatics. I mean, would you agree with that, Kate? I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, listen, I'll say this: if anybody else out there is saying that you came up with Danatics before Kristopher Bilbrey, come on here and you let me know. You tell me, post in the comments, get me on social media and let me know. And we will pull the histories and we'll go back and look. I believe that I came up with Danatics, and I think that I'm the first one that used City of Munis in pretty wide communication. That being said, I missed a chance. I missed the chance to create that page. And someone that I talk to frequently told me the people that believes that you're the city of Munis are idiots because you would have told on yourself long time ago. Like, seriously, you would have told on yourself because and that's very true. That's an accurate statement. So they do a great job. I say they because in my opinion it's a couple different people. I don't know who it is. I'm not saying that like you can look into my eyes, I can take a lie detector test. I do not know who the city of Munis is. I have a sneaking suspicion on who it is. I have my belief on who I think is part of the network. I think it's kind of like it's almost like a comedy troupe. But it's just like kind of here at the political spotlight. There's people here, there's people that there's people behind the scenes, and we make the thing go. And I think that's kind of like the city of Munis. Every time I've talked to the city of Munis, they've always been in character for the most part. So I think that's kind of funny. And it is what it is. I did my part, which was send in my questions. Here are the questions I'm going to ask. And they're questions that kind of had a funnier bent to it than what I would have asked Dan. But they're questions that were basically what I would ask Dan. You know, what's the deal with all of these people that you have around you that are just obsessed and make you look weird? So instead of asking that, it was, who's your favorite Dan Addict? What's the deal with the bankruptcy? Of course, that was a no-brainer. Look, yeah, right here on the screen, the Dan Addicts. I would have asked Dan, like, what's up with the half-assed, half-baked ideas? Which of your achievements that we see as not being achievements do you believe is your best? Why? What's the deal with it? What's going on with these achievements? What's going on with Southway Plaza? What's going on with the Justice condominiums? What's going on with the Till Pond? What is going on with any of these ideas? I would have asked these questions. So I sent my questions in, and instead of just asking this comedy troupe those questions and then, them give like straight answers, they put their response to them. And it is what it is. I didn't edit their work. They didn't edit mine. We meshed it together, and you got what you got. So I look at it as this. It was kind of taking the piss out of the city, making fun of it, making it a joke. It was pushing back against the idea that the city of Muncie Mayor Dan Ridenhour is so busy that he can't talk to me. He can't talk to Ball State News. Listen, and for the folks out there, for the Mike Jones out there, it says, "Oh, it's because Dan's too smart. He wouldn't interview with a foul-mouthed blotto like you. He's not stooping to your level. You don't know nothing. You're nobody. You're nobody." As he's sitting there hitting and running in county vehicles and licking his stamps and doing what he does, he likes to point fingers out at a lot of other people as he's slipping away, trying to hold on to relevancy. He says these things, but my question then for Mike is like, okay, I get it. You say that about me. Why didn't Dan interview with the Daily Mail? The Daily Mail. Why didn't he interview with the Daily Mail? Why didn't he interview with the Mirror, the Sun, and other really bizarre newspapers from London? Why did he not interview with the Daily News out of Ball State? Why did he not interview with WRTV6? Why did he not sit down for that heavily moderated conversation between Dan and Jeff? Why has he not attended a council meeting in a year? Why has the mayor of Muncie not attended a council meeting in 1 year? Is that not ludicrous? Does he not think that we see him not attending these meetings? And I swear to you, I am telling you, good Lord Almighty, if the election happens and he wins, and then he's got his ass sitting in the seat on the next Thursday, not Thursday, next Monday, the Monday, you know what I mean, the next meeting. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, producer Kate says it's the same thing of like, for example, Mayor Bob McCoy and incumbents in Winchester. But over there, for example, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but they are actually playing my interviews on the radio with these candidates. I had some people contact me 3 days ago, and they're like, "Hey, cool? They're playing your interviews on the radio. That's a good job." And I'm like, "What? On what radio? What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, 98.3 is playing your interview. I just listened to your interview with Eric." Well, that's news to me. So I do some checking. I get in, look out, and sure enough, they're playing snippets of the interviews. Now, I'm happy they're doing it. I like the fact that they're doing it. I kind of wish they would direct people to the show for more. I kind of wish they would say, if you want to hear more of the interview, if you want to hear more political commentary, please direct your attention to the political spotlight on YouTube, yada, yada, yada. I don't know why they have not done that. Maybe they will at the end, but it is what it is. Any number says, I wish the city of Munis would make fun of other people too. I'd love to see some funny stuff on other Munis celebrities. Yeah, or if it's not necessarily their job to take on the city of Munis to make other celebrities or other Muncie people, what they should do is they should make the profiles of these people. So they would make like, maybe someone that would be a Robinson. They could make somebody that would be a Dennis Tyler character. They could make city council candidates. Or city councilors, county councilors. It could be done in a way that could be very interesting, almost to the point that we would have just a total second city evolving online, and people would kind of wish that we lived there more than in the place that we live. So that's that. I just wanted to talk about that and let everybody know it is what it is. It's for fun. It's a joke. The fact that I did receive a record request. I put this request in quite a long time ago, and I cannot believe that it took this long for the city of Muncie to get this back to me. I put the request in for an actual reason. I will tell you what that reason is. I'm going to share this. I'm sharing this article here, so I'll be able to share it online here. Oh, I can do it this way. This will be much better. I don't know what I was thinking. This way. Okay. Nope, that's good. Okay. So sometime back, I asked for the city of Munis. Now I need to come out of the city of Munis. I'm done with the city of Munis. I asked for the city of Muncie records on the police department, because this is something that was being used as a political football. You have Dan Ridenauer saying, we've hired 19 police officers and yada, 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 and all of this stuff. Well, it was kind of sleight of hand what he did. And so I wanted to be able to talk about all of this. And so I want to show you this here. Now, this was the response that I received from the professional standards officer of the city of Muncie. Now, remember that I requested this back some time ago, and when he responded to me was actually apparently on Monday, September 18th, but he sent it to the wrong email address. He left the H out of my name, and he sent it to the wrong email. So they were like, "We've complied with this," and I'm like, "No, no, you haven't." And they're like, "No, no, no, we did." So they sent it to me. We got it all taken care of. Everything's good to go. And without further ado, here it is. This is the answer. It's from Jesse Winningham, Ryan Winningham. Says, Mr. Bilbrey, as of September 5th, 2023, the CBA between the FOP, that's the police union, and the city calls for 105 officers. Currently, there are 98 of those officers filling the positions. There are 3 officers on unpaid leave, including John Powell. And we'll talk about that in a moment. John Powell has been on administrative leave since January 30th, 2023. There's no scheduled return date. There are 2 officers in retirement transition. There is 1 officer that is on sick leave with an expected return date by the end of September. That is a total of 104 officers. We currently have 1 lateral transfer candidate that is progressing through the hiring process. The regular hiring process began on September 16th, 2023, and is expected to conclude and establish a candidate list prior to the end of 2023. The internship process with Ball State University and Ivy Tech Community College is tentatively set to begin on September 23rd, 2023, and then he signed it. So this is interesting because, number one, I don't know if I still have that or not. It makes the mayor a liar. You know, it makes the mayor it makes what he said wrong. And, you know, that's pretty big. You know, people need to know that. Of course, we know from his behavior that he's a liar. That's just par for the course. Now, the reason that Mr. Powell gets brought up is because at one point last year, I was looking at all of the officers with disciplinary issues on the department. And I think that this is specifically interesting here because Mr. Powell had been off due to issues with substance use and abuse, and had been given treatment. And now, for the record, I want to say this. I'm a libertarian. In my belief, people that are adults should be able to do what they want to do if they don't hurt other people. Everybody has jobs, everybody has consequences to life. You know, my dad always told me you can do whatever you want in life as long as you're willing to pay the consequences for it. He used to tell me that all the time. And it speaks to me so much when I think of these elected officials and these jobs doing what it is. So that's, kind of a thing. In this situation, being a police officer would require someone to be able to stay clear of mind, clear of focus, and not be on mind altering substances. And not being able to stay that way is an issue. Now, substance use and abuse is a serious situation. I'm not making light of anything. I hope anyone that's going through that, I wish them the very best. I hope that they deal with whatever's going on in their lives, and I hope that they seek treatment. And I don't wish Mr. Powell bad in any way. That being said, it is interesting to me. Right here. Right here. Hold on. I'm just getting. It is interesting to me that I'm the one that's for people as long as they're not affecting others, but cops need to be held to a higher standard because of the nature of their occupation. Yeah, it's not a good thing if you're out here possibly needing to shoot at people and you're all coked up, or you're nodding out and you're like and shoot the wrong person because you nodded out. That's probably not a good thing. That being said, it's really hypocritical because and it ties into this election. The mother of the officer that we were just speaking about, 4 years ago at like this very time, 4 years ago, almost within a couple days, the mother of that officer was speaking with me, and that mother was currently a sitting city councilor, and she was running for re-election. Was attempting to disparage a fellow candidate and stepmother, and stepmother. Was referring to one of the candidates as being passed out in a car during her golf outing because she was all drugged up on Xanax, and it just was not true. I later found out that was completely false. The mother of this officer, stepmother of this officer, then later referred to in writing, and this is in black and white. This is not something that can be disputed. Matter of fact, what I'm getting ready to say here, this mother of this officer then referred to another elected official as more or less a drug dealer. And it was just really concerning because these were allegations being thrown around without any proof. And it was pretty crazy. Now, for those people that say, well, wait a minute, what's blah, blah, blah. That mother of that officer later went on to apologize to that other elected official and was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I was just jealous, or I was upset, and I just, there's a lot going on, blah 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 blah, whatever. Okay, now, and what you'll understand why I'm bringing this up in just 1 second. We defeated that candidate with fire and votes and good candidates last election. And unfortunately, that candidate is running for re-election now. And it's she that shall not be named, running in District 2. And so that's very, very concerning. So I just found it odd that now here we are and the tables have turned. Listen, I wish nothing but the best for everybody, even my enemies. I just wish they do it a little further down the road from me. But you just have to understand the people that we're dealing with. Now, I wish that Josh Talby would have done more. I wish that Josh Talby would have worked his butt off. I wish Josh Talby would have cared to interview with people. I wish that Josh Talby would have cared to come on this program or other programs. I wish he would have chose to not listen to the Republican mantra of just write it out. Everything will be okay. We're Republicans. We can win. Because I'm going to tell you right now, he is not going to beat her. He will not beat her. We are going to be dealing with she who shall not be named in quick order. All right. She's just going to listen. She's just going to be on the council. That's something that we're going to have to deal with. So it is what it is. I just wanted to bring that out. Speaking of Josh Talby for a moment, I think this would probably be a good time to connect with Audie Bilbrey and let Audie tell what's happened today. And let me tell you, folks, this is a really bad deal. What you're getting ready to hear Audie Bilbrey talk about, I don't care if you like Audie. I don't care if you don't like Audie. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're Democrat. I don't care if you like Rick Spangler. I don't care if you don't like Rick Spangler. Something's going on with Rick Spangler. I've just got to say that. His office, what's happening is running at just absolutely subpar. The attitudes these people have, the things that these people do and say to citizens and to candidates is absolutely out of control, and it is extremely unprofessional, and I don't even know what's going on. Audie, I sent you that invite, so whatever you're doing, I don't know what you're doing, but I did send that to you. So While we wait for him to jump on here, I will take the opportunity to tell you that we are going to be looking into some Henry County news here. Hopefully, I told you guys at the start of the week we would have some Henry County news by Wednesday or Thursday. So I'm hoping we're going to have some Henry County news tomorrow. Hope. So keep tuned there if you're from Henry County. Turn your phone sideways.
Oh, turn yours sideways. I can't do that.
Why?
It won't allow me.
All right. Hello.
Okay, real quick. I think everybody remembers about a month ago, a little over a month ago, I did a bunch of absentee ballots for travel board. I've done about 35 of them at a local nursing home here in town.
Did you tell us that? Why would anybody know that?
Because I was working. Did I tell you that? I think I did. Anyhow.
Well, hold on. Let's back up. So let's tell people what that is, because I knew you did that, and you knew you did that, but I don't know if these people knew that. So tell them what that means.
Okay, what it is, it's a form. This is the form here. What it is people that cannot get out and go to the polls.
Elderly people, mostly, or people that are sick.
Handicapped, sick people. Yeah. The board, they have a traveling board that'll come vote, allow these people to vote in their apartments. So you get one member from the Democrat Party and one member from the Republican Party.
Yep.
Okay. So I done 35 of them over here at a local living assisted facility.
Yeah.
Turned all in, done what we're supposed to. Contacted a few days later. Well, I wasn't really contacted. I went back to this place to do some more. And the lady at the desk had a whole stack of travel board applications. She said, well, I've got to get all these people to sign these by noon today or they won't be allowed to vote. I said, what are you talking about? She said, well, the clerk's office sent a whole new stack out to the same people that I had registered already to do it because they were on the wrong forms. They were on last year's forms instead of this year's forms.
Okay.
I say last year, I mean, they were good in the primary. They just was not good in the general election. So I made a phone call to Josh Talby, straight up.
Which is the works in the election office of the clerk's office.
About running for District 2.
He is running for District 2.
Okay. And got really smart with me. If you had done your job right, we wouldn't be going through this. I sent all them papers over there. I said, how many people have you voted from there? Did you vote all 35 people? No, we only voted 3 or 4 people there. I said, really?
Now, back up. That's what he told you today. What happened when he contacted? So back up. We're speeding through this real quick. Okay. So sorry. No, you're fine. I just want people to be able to understand, because this is a big deal. So
it is a big deal.
You went to the nursing home where there are elderly people, there are handicapped people, there are people sick. They're right in the mind. They're older, or they can't get out and go vote. They can't go early vote. They might not be able to do the scantrons. So you can vote by a couple different ways, people. You can go vote on election day by going to the polls and doing the vote. You can walk in vote early, and it's the same thing that you do on election day. You can go vote, and you can vote early, and that's the thing. You can vote by absentee mail, which like my grandparents do. They get their ballots sent to them. They do the little scantron, make your mark heavy and dark, put it in the envelope, and send it in. Or you can do a traveling board where you get a Republican and a Democrat. They come out and they match up with you. They give you that. And the reason they're there is if you have any questions, and they can give you like bipartisan help, and they will help you, and you go down through and you vote. and then they stuff the ballot and they take it back. So that's a way to vote. And so you went to sign these people up because oftentimes these people are overlooked. They want to be able to vote, okay?
Yes.
But they get overlooked. And so you went to help these people out, and then you turned these 35 or 40 sheets into the clerk's office, and then they contacted you like within the week or so and said that you basically had done all of these wrong and they needed to resend out all of these things. And you and I got to griping because we thought, well, wait a minute, these elderly people, they're going to think, well, what is this? I've already done this. I'm not doing it again. Or they're going to throw it away. They're not going to see it. They're not going to do it in time. And then they're going to be waiting for someone to come vote them, and they're never going to get a vote, and they're going to not know what's happened, and no one's ever going to know.
Correct.
So you called and you were like, hey, what's going on here? I don't think this is right. The forms are basically identical. And per the Indiana Secretary of State's office, when they come up with new forms, unless there's something drastic difference, they're supposed to use the old forms before you use the new forms so you don't waste paper and stuff.
Right.
And so you were not doing anything wrong.
Right. But Rick Spangler decided he's the big dick in charge. So he's going to say, Audie, you got these 35 forms filled out. They're on the wrong form. I want them on the new form. Having a dick measuring contest. Excuse my expression.
Absolutely. No, you're fine. So
trying to show who the big man is.
Yeah.
So you got to understand, I contacted Josh when I found out that they sent the forms back again. I said, well, why didn't you call me? I would have took them over, had the people sign them, and got them back to you. Well, we was just trying to da. So they sent them to this living assistance home with these people that work there, that it's not their job to go around getting these people to sign these forms. So I thought, well, I'll give it a few days and I'll call. So I called him today and I says, no, Annie, not. So
you muted yourself, and that was wonderful.
I did.
Yeah, you muted probably right through the worst part of whatever you were just saying. So you're still muted.
No.
It just cut out. Now, all right, go ahead.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. So anyhow, I called Josh this evening, 4:30. I said, Josh, what's going on? Did you go vote? When are you going to go vote this living assistance facility? Oh, we done that yesterday. I said, yesterday? I said, did you call headquarters to get a Democrat? Oh, no, we had one on file. And we called this Freddie guy. Okay, first I'd ever heard this name. Because usually Shane Worthley does it. So I said, well, who was the Republican? He said it was so-and-so. We'll just go so-and-so, okay? I said, oh, really? I said, so that was your Republican and this was your Democrat. I said, how many of the 35 people that I filled out got to vote? He said, we voted 3 or 4 people. I said, 3 or 4 people? What do you mean? He said, because they didn't sign the new forms and bring them back and bring them back in, we didn't vote them. Wait a minute. These state forms were legal in May, but now they're illegal in November? What the hell's going on here? So I done some digging. The guy that he told me that did the Republican thing, I am somewhat related to him. His dad was married to my second aunt. So I called him up. I said, hey, bud, how'd the travel board go? He says, what the hell are you talking about? I said, well, you went on the travel board yesterday and voted this living facility over. He said, Audie, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, buddy. He said, I never went on no travel board. I said, oh, really? And he's got a different name, so it's not really like a name that, like a Mike Jones.
Yeah, right. There's not like 6 of them in town.
Or Mary Jones.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or Dave Smith or something like that.
Yeah.
And So I called Anna, and she's going to get down to the nitty gritty tomorrow. But guess what? Audie did.
What did
Audie went and got
did?
brand new state forms.
Yeah.
Got the correct state forms. 35 of them. So guess what Audie's been doing tonight? Getting all the new state forms filled out. And tomorrow I'll take them over to the living facility and I'll have them sign it. And these people are going to vote.
You know what I hate about this, though? Like, literally, like there are people out there that all of this confusion, they're just going to be like, all right, to hell with this. I don't want to do this.
And that's what Rick and Josh is trying to do. And Josh told me, he says, well, this is your fault, Audie. I said, what do you mean my fault? He said, where'd you get the forms at? I said, from headquarters. He said, well, it's their fault because they used the old forms and Rick wants to use the new ones. I said, it sounds like it's more like Rick's fault because Rick knows he can use the old forms, but he wants to use the new forms because this is 35 votes that Audie's going to get.
Yeah.
That's how scared the Republicans are right now.
Yeah. Well, and Andrew, now wait, back up here a
And
second.
so wait a minute, Chris. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
They voted 3 people over there. We went in and checked the records. As of tonight, they'd only voted 3 people in there. And those 3 people are the ones that sent their forms in themselves, not the ones I filled out. So none of the 35 people, had I not done a follow-up on this, none of the 35 people that I registered and got the travel board forms for would have got to vote had I not followed.
Yeah, right. Which, and maybe they're not all going to vote for you, but maybe 20 of them were going to. Maybe 10 of them were going to.
But they're voters.
Maybe none of them were. Maybe they're just going to vote. Maybe they're going to vote for your opponent. But their votes were going to be silenced because of this. Now,
this is the voter suppression bullshit.
Absolutely. And I want to.
It goes in Delaware County, city of Muncie, folks.
Yeah. Well, and I want to talk about what Andrew said there, because he said that's the exact reason why Isaac was thrown off the ballot. And he is correct there, because Isaac filled out a form that that was old. Well, he filled out the form to run in the county election. What?
Right. He filled out the county form instead of
instead of the municipal election, and that was the problem there. What?
That's not really the same, because
I mean, I get what Andrew's saying there, because it's filling out a different form because they changed the form. That being said, there was nothing different on the two. First of all, I think that there's a difference between when you're an elderly person filling out, because the problem is I talked to the Secretary of State's office, and you talked to the clerk's office, and they were like, well, where did you get those? Because those were the things that were online. When you would go online, if someone wanted to do this from their home without Audie's help, and they printed a form off, they would have got the old paperwork. So if they would have done it themselves, they would have been doing it wrong.
No, Annie, here, I think Annie says it's Rick's fault, and it is fault, but the forms that was printed were probably printed for the May election, and they were just left over, and instead of printing, and not knowing that they made new forms June of 23, they just told us to use these forms here because they thought that was the up-to-date forms.
Well, that's what the Indiana Secretary of State's office advised people to do. To do that exact same thing.
Because, see, these forms were legal, and like I said, they were legal in May, but they're not legal now because Rick don't want them to be. So I got news for Mr. Spangler. They'll be correct tomorrow, the proper forms, and they will be turned in, and I will get a receipt, and I will get a date on when they're going to vote these people. And we are going to make sure that they're put in, that our chairperson for the Democrat Party in Delaware County, make sure that she puts in the right person to go with them and make sure these people vote.
Catherine, it very well could be. Yeah.
What'd Catherine say?
Is this election tampering?
It's suppression of the vote.
It's suppression of the vote. Definitely. It's definitely suppressing the vote. I mean, if Audie wouldn't have followed up, they would have suppressed 35 votes today or last week.
I agree.
And it's
yes, they would have suppressed all these votes next week. These people wouldn't have got a vote. And then when they come back and say, well, Audie, what happened? You signed us up. We signed the paperwork. We give you the last 4 of our social security number. Why didn't we get a vote? Because the piece of shit county clerk that we have was going to suppress your vote. And I'm going to tell all these people this tomorrow. I might not say piece of shit.
Right. Well, and let me tell you, something's going on with Rick. Rick has been less helpful ever since he was questioned at the beginning of the year. Rick has not liked the fact that he's been questioned. And that's been a problem. He's been a problem. It has been a problem. And that is not okay. Rick was questioned by multiple people.
He has not, since we filed a lawsuit against him and the girl in the box.
Yep.
Has not spoke to me. I've seen him several times. Will not speak to me. Will not return any messages or anything from me. And he's an elected official.
He's an elected official.
He's supposed to be bipartisan after he's elected.
Yes.
He's not. Somebody, guess what? Next week I'll talk to him.
Right. See what Darla works here. Audie's wife works at this facility. And she says, I work here. They've been asking when someone will be coming around to vote. They think that they're going to be voting. And so if nobody comes around and votes them, then they're going to blame Audie for it.
I'm going to file a thing with the state tomorrow or the next day on this.
Yeah, you need to.
If I have to get a hold of Channel 13, Channel 6, Channel 8, whoever I need to get a hold of, this needs to be public because these Republicans are suppressing the vote once again. And see, one of these ladies that live here, I wasn't going to say this. One of these ladies live here. Her granddaughter has ran for public office on the Republican ticket. And she told her grandma not to vote for me. But I talked to her grandma tonight and I told her, look, I'll call her Myrtle. I'll call her Myrtle. Okay. That's a pretty far-fetched name. Nobody's named Myrtle. I said, Myrtle, guess what? This is your granddaughter's party suppressing your vote because they will not use the old forms that the states say they can use. I said, that's the Republican Party for you. And she just shook her head and she says, that's not right. I said, I'll be back tomorrow with the right forms and you guys will get a vote. She says, I got a bunch of people wondering when they're going to get a vote. And I said, it will be soon.
That's
Annie, I've got the form says, and it is the new up-to-date state form says, this form must be received by noon the day before Election Day, may be hand-delivered, mailed, or emailed, or faxed. So I've got till noon on Monday to get these travel boards in, but I'm going to get them in tomorrow. I'm going to take the day off work, and I'm going to go in tomorrow and file all these. Get all these people to re-sign them and turn them all in tomorrow. And demand a receipt and ask when they're going to go to the travel board.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure I want to be there. Call all 3 today. Yes, Audie, hold them. Okay. Ryan, I always do. And that's why I'm running for city council. I want to hold these people in office accountable. And I don't care who it is. If you remember 4 years ago, I was battling with the Democrats because they were doing wrong. Now I'm battling with Republicans because they're doing wrong.
Yes.
If they're doing right, I don't go after them.
Right. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's ridiculous what's happening. It's just like what we're dealing with Lisa in Winchester. It's like what's going on in all of these little places. It's like what they're dealing with in LaPel and in Madison County. That it's so simple to do the right thing, but it's also simple to do the wrong thing. And they just decide, all right, screw it, we're going to do the wrong thing, and that's what they do.
It also goes back to Rick Spangler's old enough to know that he shouldn't be lazy. It also goes back to him being lazy. See, Josh sent these forms back to these people and expected these people at this living facility to go out and track these people down and get them to sign. That's not their job.
Right.
I already had them signed. There was no reason to send them back. Plus, my phone number is on every one of them. All Josh Talby had to do was call me and say, "Hey, Audie, we got a problem. We got to have these on new forms." Guess what I would have done? I would have went and got new forms. I'd have went and picked them up, and I'd have new forms filled out like I did tonight.
Yeah.
Take them back and have the folks sign them.
Now, back up, pause here real quick. Jackie, to answer your question, should candidates be participating in the voting traveling board? Are there any codes or rules that address this? So as far as passing out the paperwork like Audie is doing, all Audie is doing is just giving somebody the document so that they can register. That's no different than telling people to register at www.indianavoters.com or having them fill out the paperwork or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're talking about like if a candidate should be able to be the one going around on the voting board, I don't think that should be allowed. And to my knowledge, that has not happened. Now, what you might be talking about, and you can correct me if I'm wrong or whatever, is the fact that Josh Talby is a candidate and he's on the ballot, and his day job is in the voters' election room where all of this is happening. Is that something that should be allowed, or is it a problem? And my thought is I've never liked that, but you know, I don't know what you do. I don't know when the clerk's office is an elected position, and as part of that position, he's in there and has access to what's going on. You know, should that be permitted? I don't know. Should there be more oversight to that than what there is? I don't know.
Okay, just like Annie just said, I'm just signing them up for the board. I'm just helping them out to where they can vote. Okay, but I want to be notified now that they've screwed me over here, screwed these people over here. That I want to be notified when it happens. Now, each one of these people have individual rooms. Okay, it's a living assisted facility, so they're still of the right mind and pretty much can do for themselves. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to know when they go. I'm going to be there. And when the guys go in, the Democrat and Republican goes in, I can wait in the hallway. But I want to make sure that they hit every room of every person that I have got signed up and make sure these people vote. What happened?
I was just showing John. Go ahead. Yeah.
That way I know that when I lay down at night that these people have voted. It's on Kilgore.
Give me a second. I'm looking.
I don't know that it is. I think it's
give me a second.
District 3.
I think it is District 3.
So no, I don't think it's Talby's area. So these people wouldn't be able to vote for him anyhow. But like I said, I'm just helping these people to where they can vote. I'm not choosing who they vote for. I'm not going to be in there when they vote, but I want to be notified that the stuff is being done properly, that these people are allowed to vote. Just because they live in an assisted facility, some of them's amputees, don't have any legs. Some of them's diabetics that can't, don't have fingers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? These people should still be allowed to vote. And by Rick Spangler doing this and Josh Talby allowing this to be done, that is not right. Not right whatsoever. Why they single out the 35 people I got to sign up to do this is beyond me. Who knows if they've suppressed the Republicans, because I guarantee you, if the Republicans brought the old ballots in or the old forms in, I guarantee you Rick would have used them. I just feel that's the type of person Rick is.
Yeah. I know this is on in District 3.
It's District 3.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
It's District 3.
Yeah.
Yep. Precinct, I think their voting place is it one of the churches? I don't know. I don't know right offhand. It doesn't matter what district it's in. These people want to vote. They've been begging my wife to get somebody up there to vote them. I filled the paperwork out properly. It was all filled out correctly. Just because they changed the forms from May to June, they changed them from May to June, revised them in June. Shouldn't be no reason they couldn't vote.
Oh, I think the question is that Audie said he was going to be there for the travel board. So, what are you saying there?
I want to be there with the travel board, like I said, because I want to make sure that they go into each and every one of these people's rooms. I'll stand outside. I'll stand outside in the hallway.
I don't know that you can be there for the travel board. I don't know. I don't think that you can be. I mean, that's the same thing that would be the same thing basically as walking in and being standing next to somebody voting. I mean, I don't know what I guess the bottom line is just if
hey, Chris, wait a minute.
Yeah.
It ain't no different. Josh Talby sitting in that damn election room up there when them people go vote early. Not one different.
Yeah.
The only is he's an employee.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's sitting there at his desk as people come in and hand their ID out with his name placard on his desk up in the far corner to where everybody can see it, and then they go in and vote.
Yeah, you'll just have to find out. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't particularly know what the law is with all of that.
Correct. Candidates cannot be in the polling sites. They can be in them. They just can't have political garb on.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They can go inside the polling sites, ask how many people's voted, da 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 da, but they cannot have their political gear on. So they can be in the polling sites. I do know that.
So, Karen, this is technically about registering so that they can vote a certain way. It's not about voting. It's about registering so basically Audie registered people to allow them to have the voter board come to them. And if this would not have happened, then if Audie wouldn't have checked back on this, those people just would have never had the voting board come out there. They would have registered for it. They would have thought that they registered for it. They would have thought that they were in the good, and they would have been waiting, and no one would have ever came.
Chris, here's the thing. A lot of those people wasn't registered, so we got them registered at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So they're registered to vote now. And you got to understand, 35 people, that ain't a very lot of people.
Sure.
But the time-wise that I've got involved with this, I've got several days, several hours, making sure these people are registered to vote, making sure that they got the proper registration, proper ID, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I got quite a bit of time in these 35 people.
Sure.
And I'm not asked them to how they're going to vote. I give them my literature, tell them who I am. I'm here to register you to vote, and please vote for me. But I'm not forcing them, and I'm not saying, hey, you got to vote for me because I helped you out. I'm not saying that.
Sure. Right. Yeah, and like you said, my grandmother lost a race by 9 votes. Lost the Delaware County Recorder's race. First race, it came down to 11 votes. They had a recount. She pulled ahead by like 7 votes. They had a recount. She ended up losing the race by 9 votes. 10 people would have made the difference in that race. 10 people.
And Chris, I want to go on and say, I know they're just like Josh is here. Look at my name tag, Granny. You got to understand this living facility is 55 and older. So most of these people were born in the 50s and 60s. So they're not really that much older than most of us out here on this podcast tonight. It's just they've got disabilities that they need a little assistance, and that's why they're in a living assisted facility.
You're basically in a living assisted facility.
I've got my own nurse right in there.
Right.
If it wasn't for that woman, I'd lose my head.
Yeah, right.
She lays my clothes out for me.
Jesus.
She sets my medicines out for me every night. Half the time she'll go in there and get them and bring them to me while I'm sitting in my chair watching TV.
Right, right. Well,
that's why I'm not up for sale no more.
You're right. Yeah, I got you. I knew that's what you were talking about, Josh Fisher. Josh Fisher was talking about a joke from Happy Gilmore. You people need to get out.
Yeah, and look, in the primary, there was 5 Republicans, 2 Democrats running in the primary. And guess what? I got 4th place by 3 votes.
Yeah.
If I can pull ahead 3 votes and go 4 votes, pull 4 more votes, then I can get ahead of that 3rd person player. I don't have to finish first. I just want to finish in the top 3.
Yeah.
That's all I need. Just finish in the top 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And now that there's 7 candidates running, because the Democrats added another one and then the Libertarians added one. So there's actually 7 candidates that 6 other candidates I got to beat to get 3rd place.
Yeah.
So it's going to count.
Every vote will count. Absolutely.
People say, oh, my vote don't count. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. When you got 7 people running for 3 positions, yes, it does, folks. It does count. And you got to make sure that you go down. Don't vote straight ticket. Go down and punch my name.
Yeah.
Hit straight ticket up the top. If you want to hit straight Republican,
don't do that. No, just go down and vote straight Republican if you so choose, or Democrat. Do not vote the straight ticket button.
Wait a minute. Let me finish my spiel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you're a Republican, you want to vote straight ticket, hit that straight ticket and go down and hit Audie Barber alone.
Yep.
If you're a Democrat, go through and punch each and every Democrat's name.
Yeah.
Or if you're a Republican, hit that straight ticket and don't mess with the Republican vote down there at the at-large members. That's fine with me too.
Yeah.
But Democrats, listen, you got to punch my name for me to get your vote.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to physically hit the names.
Thank you, Ryan.
The people who do the dumb shit, I'm going to hit one button and that's going to be done and I'm done. That's stupid. Even if I wanted to vote, I voted straight party before one way or another, just because of something happening, because they were the best people. Not just because it was what I was doing, but because that's how I was voting that time. But I never hit the button. I went through and I selected straight party. I selected every Republican or every Democrat that I voted for.
And Chris,
that's the way I've done it.
Here's the weird thing. You only got to vote for 6 people. It's not that difficult.
Yeah, people are making this a lot harder.
You don't got to vote for 6 people.
Well,
you can vote
up to.
Well, you got your mayor race. That's one.
There are 6 possible things you could be voting for.
Right.
You got your judge. So you don't have to get away on.
Because I never vote straight ticket. I very rarely fill out a ballot.
And you got your clerk. So you got to hit one of those. Then you got your district races, and then you got your at-large.
Yeah.
So mayor, the judge don't count because she already voted for herself, and she's going to be in. So that's no-brainer. Clerk, you're going to vote for that Democrat clerk, Norman. You're going to vote for Jeff Robinson as mayor. That's 2. You're going to vote for your district person. That's 3. And then you got 3 at-large members you can vote up to. So you can only vote for 4 people to 6 people. That's all you have to vote. That's all the tickets you have to punch.
Yeah.
It's not that
You can. You don't have to. You can.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you so choose, you know, some
You can
people
go in there and press
vote.
1.
Yeah, you can go in there and hit straight Audie Barber.
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
And Clinton, I hope you realize I'm not. This is me.
He's not from Muncie. You're not going to win him over.
Okay. Anyhow, this is me. This goes out to everybody. This is me.
Yeah.
What you've seen over the last year on here, last 6 months, this is me every day.
Yeah.
I
feel like I'm like in a hostage situation.
You are. I get upset pretty easy. I get very agitated real easy, especially over this stuff like here. Oh, I was so pissed earlier. I couldn't talk straight.
It gets turned on even easier.
Oh my God. I was so mad and upset. I probably even cussed Josh Tolby and hung up on the son bitch.
I think you did.
I guarantee I did. But I'm tired of people lying to me.
Listen, this election, I've got 2 more things I'm going to talk about before we finish this off. But that's what I'm going to end on is this this election's the last week of this election. I don't know. It's insane.
And he said it right here. Even though you can vote for 3 at large, does not mean you have to vote all 3.
Yeah.
1 vote for Audie is taking 2 votes away from other candidates. It helps out, like me getting 3 votes.
Bullet voting is a very useful tool.
I'm just explaining it. I'm not telling people to vote that way.
Yeah.
You want a bullet vote for Audie Barber? Bullet vote for Audie Barber. And that's like me getting 3 votes because the other 2 candidates don't get it. And since they added 1 on the Democrat and added 1 on the Libertarian, it's going to be harder to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
Thank you, Catherine. All right, Chris, get back to your other 2 things.
All right.
If anybody needs a travel board ballot, please give me a call. We've got till noon on Monday to get them turned in.
Yeah, noon Monday.
Annie Anonymous is telling you guys to vote the way she just explained it to you.
Yes. If anybody needs a ride or needs help getting to a ballot box,
call me.
Yeah, get a hold of us. Audie, myself, we'll help you out.
I've got 4 people that say they'll help us drive people around to the polling booths. Call me. Get a hold of Chris. Whatever.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and say I can't get there. My car's broke down, or I don't have transportation.
What's your number, Audie?
And we'll come get it. Huh?
What's your Audie? What's your number?
744-0013. Area code 765-744-0013. Please get a hold of me, Chris, or somebody. Have them get a hold of us. I'll come out and pick you up. I'm going to be off Tuesday. I'm going to come out and pick you up, take you to the polling site that you go to. Wait on you out front. I'll take you back home. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, there's the number to call.
I will not tell you who you
time.
vote for. Right. I will not tell you who you got to vote for. I will not be buying you a bottle of whiskey or anything like that. I will pick you up, take you to the polling site. You can go in, vote, come back out. I won't even ask you who you voted for, and I'll drop you off at your house, and that's all that'll be said.
Oh.
I want you to vote. Right, wrong, or indifferent, I want you to vote. And I'll even do that for Republicans. I'll go out and pick Republicans up, take them and vote. Anybody that wants to vote, that needs to vote, let me know. I'll come pick you up in the city of Muncie.
Hey, I didn't mean. Hold on.
The party is going to be at.
Yeah, it was Gene Teal. Gene Teal used to give out the whiskey and the gravel for votes. He's a candidate from way back in the olden days. For the people that know, if that's Audie's not going to pull the whole Gene Teal deal.
No, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I'll ask you to vote for me, and if you don't, I won't never know.
Yeah.
You can come out and say, "Yeah, I voted for you."
You never know.
But all I can do is take you at your word. So, Chris, you got a couple more things to do, and I got a couple more
All right.
things
I'm getting rid of you.
Yep, get rid of me. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
That was Audie. Yeah, Gene Teal was a candidate from Shedtown. And I can tell you with absolute certainty that my great-grandfather voted for him multiple times and then came home to his new gravel driveway and a bottle of whiskey. And so that is a true life thing. Give me 1 second here. Let me see. If I can find this here. For you. Yeah, yes. That is what makes Muncie interesting. Is that stuff actually happened? That was, I mean, and look, it happens everywhere. Everywhere's got stories like that. But that is real life deal. I'm going to show you something here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. This is what I was looking for. Damn it. Riveting TV, I know, folks. Give me 1 second. Here we go. So, the last bit there, Audie was real passionate about that, but it's important to know. It's important that people understand, you know, why that's such a big deal. It's such a big deal because it's not because Audie's not going to get 10 votes here, or he's not going to get 35 votes here. It's not because of that. It's because of those people who are literally sitting there thinking that votes are coming their way, that vote, here they're going to get votes, and they're going to show up, and no one's going to be coming for them. No one's going to be coming there to help those people out. No one's going to be coming to vote them, and they're going, then in the end of the day, they're going to think that Audie is the one that screwed them over. So then when Audie goes back next time and talks to them, they're going to be like, no, thank you. You're the idiot. Listen, my grandparents are very well at themselves. They do well for being up there in age, and they do very well for themselves. But if someone took out a form and told my grandma and my grandpa, okay, you're going to sign this, and then you're going to get a vote, and then you mailed them a form, and then they got mailed another form, they're going to be like, okay, this is some kind of scam. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to be playing this game. And, that's that. They wouldn't be taking part in that. So they would just feel like they were getting scammed. And so they wouldn't be, they wouldn't be doing that. And so they just feel like, I just feel like, they, people don't realize, when you're dealing with people, when you're dealing with people that are getting up there in age, how they need to be cautious. They need to be cautious. They have to be cautious of people taking advantage of them. And so if they're not, that's a big thing. So I want to show you this, and then we're going to move on, especially since I took so much time looking for it. Just to give the old Muncie people some sense of nostalgia. This is my great grandfather, not my great, it's my great grandfather. So it's my grandfather's dad. This would have been the man that would have taken a little bit of whiskey and gravel from Gene Teal. And this guy here was a character. Give me 1 second here. Here he is up in years, serenading, probably after drinking some of that whiskey. And he lived over in Shedtown, was a proud Shedtowner. And here's the Bilbrey clan. Here's my grandfather in the middle right here. Here's this is just absolutely amazing. Just absolutely amazing how these people look. I love it. So that's that. Oh, and then here is the offspring. Here's my grandfather with my dad off of Beacon, and here's my grandmother with my dad also off of Beacon. So I just like those pictures. I like the old time Muncie. If you go by these same areas, these same houses are still there. Very, very, very cool. All right. So moving on there, ladies and gentlemen, I got to talk to you about this Lisa friend deal, folks. You want to come on here?
No, not particularly.
You just want to be here just for a second. You're like, no, not particularly.
Okay.
Just for a second. So, and I listen, it's the same thing as with Audie. Like, I feel bad. Audie had no problem filing that lawsuit against Rick and against Belinda. He felt incensed by it. I just helped him out. Kate had no problem stepping up and doing it. Like, I gladly would have done it. People are like, why didn't you do it? You were doing the paperwork. Well, I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't live in Winchester, Randolph County. I feel incensed. I hate that. I hate that. It's crazy.
That state law really limits who can file a suit too.
Yeah. You have to, in order for the suit against Lisa, you have to be there was a time you could be a voter. Is that right? Or no?
No, I don't think
you had to be a candidate.
You have to be a candidate or you have to be a party chair.
A candidate or party chair are the only people at this time that could file this lawsuit against Lisa. So and it's a candidate in that race, right? You couldn't be
it's a candidate in that race or a party chair. So there's like 5 people in the whole county that can
5 people in the world that can file this.
Well, yeah, in the world.
There's the Democrat Party chairman, the Republican Party chairman, the Libertarian Party chairman. Then there are 2 candidates, and that's what the deal was. And so Kate begrudgingly draw the short straw.
Yeah.
And we did our thing. Now, so you understand, we filed this lawsuit against Lisa on the 23rd, Monday the 23rd, and it got in the system immediately. It's up. Then we got a court date almost instantly of Thursday, the 2nd of November, which is tomorrow.
Yes.
And then right after we got that court date, the day later, there are 3 defendants filed. So Kate is the plaintiff, and she is suing 3 people. She is suing Lisa Friend Teal, the counselor candidate. She is suing Mindy Peed, which is the Randolph County clerk / Republican vice chair / election board secretary. And she is suing as the defendant Ben Wells as the Republican Party chairman and the election board member. So those are the 3 people getting sued.
Right. And the only reason Miss Peed and Mr. Wells are on there is because state law says you file against the candidate and you file against whoever's responsible for them being on the ballot.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason they're on there.
Yeah.
It's just because state law says they have to be.
Right, because it would just be Lisa, but state law says that, you do this other stuff. So when we drew up the paperwork to file, and we went through all of that, and I'm not going to go through all of that, but we just stated, hey, she moved out. She's not attended 9 council meetings over the course of 8 months. It's ridiculous what's happening. This is pure stupidity. State law says,
paper saying that she moved to Montana.
She wrote a newspaper article stating that she moved to Montana. Like, it doesn't get
how hard it was to pack up.
Yeah, how hard it was to pack up, but her children didn't need her, and it was hard leaving her hometown of 50 years. But her new hometown was so welcoming.
Yes, they loved her.
Yeah, it helped her pick out furniture and stuff.
They really, really loved her. Okay. And so I made this for the candidates over there. Montana or Kansas? Bottom line, Lisa hasn't been in Winchester. District 4, vote Democrat Joan Ashley or Libertarian Lydia Carpenter. Whatever you do, do not vote for Lisa Friend. Cut Bank Pioneer Press welcomes new publisher, Lisa Friend. It's all there. And I got this big ass head picture.
She
I got
documented her own corruption.
Absolutely. Oh, Jack, that's great. Wow, that's a line for court. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'd rather use Evan's line.
Oh, yeah, right.
She put it in fucking writing?
Yes, right. So you can see there from Winchester to Cut Bank. I mean, she moved. Hey, 80s care, don't care, let me tell you. She moved to like another country. She's basically in Canada. 25 hours away, moving away from your hometown. So packing up and moving across the country was a huge decision. Deciding if you should move. But after being here in Cut Bank before I left home. I mean, look, those are her words. I didn't say them. You know what I mean? Is that the dude from Poison? What you guys don't see here, the flip side of this article, she also wrote, who doesn't know what I'm talking about? Who's never left home? Who's never struck out? To find a dream and a life of their own, a place in the clouds, a foundation of stone. Many proceed and many will follow. A young girl's dreams no longer hollow. It takes the shape of a place out west, but what holds for her she hasn't yet guessed. She needs wide open spaces, room to make her big mistakes. Let me tell you, she's making some pretty big damn mistakes. Like, I don't understand what's going on with this weird ass Dixie Chicks type of a midlife crisis she's having. So all I'm saying, and all Kate's saying, and all Josh is saying, and all Niles is saying, and all any normal human being in Winchester is saying is she is ripping off the citizens of Winchester. Taxation without representation.
All over the Constitution.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
No,
a little riled.
No, I heard that. I heard him. That's great. He's exactly right. It's complete bullshit. And so this is what's happening. So we filed this lawsuit. It was a team effort.
Yes.
And bam, the next day, Mindy P, the clerk, what's it to her? She comes in and she says, well, I want the judge to recuse himself. Now, listen, I can't prove this. Absolutely. And boy, do I have her one. If she just come on back, I can hook her right up with James King and she'll be taken care of. Yeah, I know that's the lyrics to the Dixie Chick song. I was being a smartass.
Yes, the perfect beard has spoken.
Yes. Timing issues. So here's the thing.
They filed for a new judge.
They filed for a
continuance.
And they filed for a continuance. In that order, they did not file for continuance and then a new judge. So they said, we don't want you to be the judge and make decisions. All right, I recuse myself. Then they say, hey, judge, can you file for continuance? Continuance, which is not technically the right way to do that. Technically, they should have done the continuance and then first. However, in the state of Indiana, you cannot have a judge recuse himself simply to buy time because the state code says this has to be heard in 10 days after the filing. So Kate and I called the court yesterday, and the court tells Kate, hey, we're just kind of waiting around for documentation on like what's going on. So Kate and I like put our heads together and we're like, well, let's file a motion to deny the continuance. So that's what we did. We filed a motion to we filed a motion to deny the continuance, to respectfully ask the court to deny the continuance. And I was like, man, I really probably should have went to law school. I'm really upset, So we did our thing, and it says I filed the document, and or I typed up this document and said essentially boop, 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 boop.
Could you please hear this? Don't delay this. It has to be heard according.
Yeah, like, come on, people. Seriously. I said, Plaintiff Kathleen Thornburg, pro se, respectfully request the court deny the defendant's motion for continuance and request the court hold a prompt or emergency hearing in accordance with Indiana Code 38223C. In support of this motion, plaintiff states as follows. Under Indiana Code 38223C, the law states that when a complaint is filed under subsection B, the circuit court, superior court, or probate court shall conduct a hearing and rule on the petition within 10 days after it's filed. Easy. Plaintiffs filed this action with the court on Monday, October 23rd, 2023. Whereas the plaintiff, Kathleen Thornburg, pro se, requests the court to hold an emergency or prompt hearing and granting injunctive relief by compelling through order the defendants Lisa Friend Teal, Melinda Peed, and Ben Wells to comply with Indiana law and have Lisa Friend Teal withdrawn from the general election set for Tuesday, November 7th, 2023 for all other just and relief proper relief, one way or the other. So we filed it. No big deal.
Almost immediately get a new court date.
Yeah, that's the thing. So here's what happened. We called because the special judge is in Wayne County. That's Richmond. So we called Wayne County. Kate took the paperwork up to Randolph County, stamped it, and she told the Randolph County clerk's office, by the way, the Wayne County court is waiting on this because I didn't want them to stamp it and then throw it off in the corner and wait for 2 weeks. So we wanted to let them know, hey, time's a ticking. And 2 minutes later, the court calls us back. Now, we didn't answer it. We called them today, and they told us, oh, yeah, you got a new court date. It's Friday. So they got the continuance as they wanted for 1 day. And we're like jumping up and down. We're like, yes, 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 this is great. And we're like preparing and doing some research and putting our case together. And I, for shits and giggles, decide to call her newspaper article place company, the Pioneer Press. And, oh, no, we're out of order first.
We're out of order. Then we find out that we have not filed the summons paperwork correctly.
Well, I disagree with that. I think that we filed the summons paperwork exactly correctly. This is just something the judge disagrees with.
Yes.
So the
judge wants the addresses they're sent to be their houses. So they weren't properly served according to the judge.
Well, see, I have to digress, and I disagree with him. I digress.
Well, his opinion is the only one that matters in this.
Yeah, right. But I just want the people to hear this out because this is important. So we filed 3 summons. We filed a summons for Lisa. We filed a summons for Mindy Peed, and we filed a summons for Ben Wells. All right, the 3 defendants. The service for Peed, the clerk, was at the Randolph County Clerk's office. Follow me out on this. All right. In order to serve people, you need their address. So we filed the address for Mindy Peed at the Randolph County Clerk's office because I know she'll be there. The address for Ben Wells, we did not know his home address. And I know, number one, he is a county election board member, so he can take information, paperwork, and mail at the county. He's also a member of the Republican Party, of which Mindy Peed is the vice chair of. So even if he's not a member of the election board, she's still his vice chair. She could take service for him, and it would count. So we set up Ben Wells' paperwork to be delivered to the clerk's office. And then Lisa's paperwork, we don't know an address for her. We know she has an address in Winchester that she used to live at and no longer lives at. Maybe a husband or ex-husband lives there. I'm not really sure, but I know that she at one time did. And I know that she definitely now does not.
So we sent it to Cut Bank.
So we sent her summons to her job at Cut Bank because we know she's the publisher there. We got the address off the newspaper, and we sent it to Cut Bank. And so then they call the court today, and then this afternoon, and they tell Kate that Friday's hearing is only going to be with Mindy Peed because Lisa and Ben have not been served properly because they wanted them to be served at their home. But that doesn't make sense. Why does that not make sense?
Because our supposition is that Lisa doesn't live at that place.
Well, no. My first thing is they served Mindy Peed at work. Mindy Peed does not work at the clerk's office. There's no reason for them to serve her at the clerk's office. That's stupid. So I don't know why they did that. That's nonsense. It's ignorant that they did that.
So Kate, we did a mad dash, readjusted the addresses on the summons. Kate got those stamped, and those have been sent out certified mail.
And so now we have sent them out to the places they requested us to do. We've done that. So hopefully we will hear, hopefully that wasn't enough time to get them added to the hearing on Friday, or hopefully they don't need to be, and we're able to move ahead with having her pulled off the ballot, I guess, without her being there. I don't know. The bottom line is she needs to be pulled off the ballot. I would even be fine with this. I'd even be fine with, I guess, really, Mindy Peed would be for pulling her off the ballot, and she would be for having her resign now. I don't even care if she doesn't resign.
Oh, that's fine. And as I said, it's whatever the law says, whatever my interpretation of the law is, doesn't really matter at this point. What the judge wants is what matters. And so that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I am dotting my I's and crossing my T's the way that the judge wants them dotted and crossed, and filling that out. So tomorrow, apparently, I need to call serve them while they're in their official capacity. Yeah, that's what our thinking was with the addresses that we put on there.
Well, yeah, that's the reason. Yeah, that's the reason we did. That's the reason.
That's not what the judge wants. So that's not what we're doing. So I guess we need to call them tomorrow. Email them the receipt and the tracking on the certified letters we sent today to the judge, court person.
Yeah.
Basically got to call her tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we're doing that. And then we called Cut Bank.
Oh, yeah. Then we called Cut Bank. And when we called Cut Bank, they tell us that we need to be on the ground in Cut Bank. I need a jet.
Actually, we need to go to Kansas.
Well, yeah. Stand by, Audie. So we call Cut Bank, and we're like, hey, yo, is Lisa there? We're trying to here. Let me tell you what my ignorant reason was for calling. My ignorant reason for calling was, I'm gonna call there. Some younger person's going to answer the phone, and I'm going to be able to manipulate these people into giving us her address. And we get a lady on the phone who proceeds to tell us that she no longer works at
that office.
And we were like, she was real kind of coy about it. She's like, "Arr." And so finally we're like, wait, where does she work? And the lady then proceeds to tell us she works at their Kansas office.
One of
Kansas, Montana? No, Kansas. So I have been searching the newspaper they have owns like
6.
1, 2, 3, 4,
6.
6 different newspapers in Kansas, plus a bookstore and something else.
Yeah.
So
they own a lot of crap.
Yeah, so we're trying to find her now. But the point is, I don't care where she lives. She does not live in Winchester. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
She does not live here. What do you say?
He said not even close is what he said.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. It's absolutely ignorant. So that's what's going on. We're going to try to fight it and do our best. Listen, I put this out, and I put a copy of this on Joan's wall, and I put a copy of this on Lydia's wall. And basically how this reads is, I said on Lydia's wall.
It was nice of Lydia, though, to go ahead and, say that in the newspaper article about it, that these are all allegations. They're not true. I just travel for work. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I said, citizens of Winchester, Indiana, Joan Ashley is running for the District 4 City Councilor, is running for the office of District 4 City Councilor. Currently, the District 4 Councilor is Lisa D. Teal, but she left Winchester sometime in March of 2023. She has missed 9 city council meetings over the course of 8 months. All the while, she has been getting paid taxpayer money while living her Dixie Chicks wide open spaces midlife crisis fantasy. Meanwhile, the citizens of Winchester are dealing with taxation without representation. And if that doesn't boil your blood, her dumbass is on the ballot this year and to try to win a re-election. But you have options. Like I said, Joan Ashley is running as a Democrat. You can vote for Joan. She would be a great choice. There's also another choice, Lydia Carpenter. Lydia is running as a Libertarian. The thing is, Joan and Lydia are friends, and they just want you, the citizen, to have a decent choice this election. Whatever you do not vote for Lisa Friend Teal. Election day is Tuesday, November 7th, 2023, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Read the post below. And then I shared the exact same thing on Lydia's page, just adjusting the stuff in Lydia's name, putting Lydia first. And this is what I put up there. Montana or Kansas, bottom line. Lisa hasn't been in Winchester, da-da-da-da-da. And this is so ridiculous. It makes me absolutely sick. So that's fun. That. What?
It's fun. It's never a dull moment.
Absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. But the last thing, right before we go,
I can leave again.
Yeah, you can go down if you want. The last thing that I want to talk about right before we sign off for the night is whatever in the hell is going on the Ridenhour for mayor page, folks. I don't know who is running his social media page, but it's like a 13-year-old asshole. Like, that kid you just want to punch square in the head. I'm telling you, the people that's on this. So they posted this thing about the fire department again, because it apparently didn't get enough shock value when they posted it the other 3 times. Details were in a 300-page study that was sent to my opponent in February, some 7 months before he stated he knew nothing about it and then voted against the fire department. All right. And then you get, I said, this is moronic. This makes the man, Dan Ridenhour, look stupid. This is clearly not Dan writing these posts, because Dan was a city councilor and he would know that tabling a resolution is not voting against it. It was tabled to be sent to the Public Works Committee. The 3 city councilors assigned to that committee are Chairperson Councilor Rose Selvey, Councilors Aaron Clark, and Roger Overby. Chairperson Rose Selvey called the committee meeting for Monday, October 16th. The committee meeting met then. However, Councilor Aaron Clark was not in attendance, and neither was the mayor. The meeting was also not live streamed or recorded for whatever ignorant reason. At the end of that meeting, it was determined by the 2 members there, one Democrat and one Republican, that a follow-up meeting was needed. I was just informed yesterday, however, Monday 10/30/23, by Councilor Rose Selvey that the next meeting would not be until after the election. So this is no way on Jeff Robinson. Fix this problem. Okay? Well, I just don't understand it. What's this thing here? Okay, so this says, someone says, wow, blatant lie. Doesn't surprise me one bit. Jeff Robinson says, here you go again, misleading the people of Muncie. From your time as a city councilor, remember? And he just dogs him, okay? And then you get people that comment back, and people who like it and don't like it. People who agree, people are talking, whatever. But nobody of substance really talks to him. Aldi Barber calls Dan out, and Dan's wife says, shameful not to let Jason Chafin, president of IAFF, speak. Shows the character of the president of the Muncie City Council. He espouses support of unions and yet doesn't let their voice be heard. Shireen Wagley gets on and says the motion and second was purposely made before wanting this. Those wanting to speak could, and of course, to allow also provide deniability and a cloak of I just followed the rules. To which, I'm asking, a committee meeting that Rose Selvey called for was called, and Aaron Clark didn't show up, even though he was on that committee. Amazingly, the mayor didn't show up either. Okay, so what's interesting to me about this is I believe that there are a whole bunch of comments that have been deleted, but that's Shireen Wagley's tactic. Okay, there's a bunch of fighting that goes on down in this thing, and I just simply ask Shireen Wagley, wait a minute. Are my comments deleted? Okay, yeah, right here they are. Shireen, are you working while posting all of this post that's clearly a campaign post? If you're working, could you maybe stop politicking for a bit and help find that park data I've been wanting on a record request I sent a few weeks back? Shireen says, not that it's any of your business, but we do get lunch hours and days off, Now, I'll have you, know that it was 12:04 when she said this. Perfect. She's on lunch. Now I know that she won't be able to eat forever. You know what I mean? Like, she's on lunch at noon. So hopefully there'll be a break. And when she, stops eating and goes back to work. And she gets on here and says, maybe I should worry about my job rather than hers. I'll put my work hours up against yours anytime. And here she's posting this at 2:45. Is she still at lunch? Is she still at lunch? It's just insane what these people are willing to do and say. It's gross. It's nonsensical. And yet they get mad because people want to make a piss take out of their idiot candidate. It's so bad for the mayor, Annie. It is so bad for the mayor. So bad. And the bottom line is, all of that nonsense that Dark Dan said, and he still has more of a personality than Dan Ridenour. I'll say it right here for the record. Dark Dan has more of a personality than Dan Ridenour, and it's a chat GBT AI chatbot. I would vote for Dark Dan. People like Dark Dan. The mayor of Muncie comes off so one-dimensional and flat. So, I don't know, man. I think these people over the next, we've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We've got 6 days, 5 days. I don't know that we're going to be able to do it. I think it's going to break apart. All right. So I'm ending the show here. Before I do, I'm going to give this out. Let everybody know. I'm only going to do the city of Muncie. I'll do the rest of them tomorrow because we got late. I'll start out doing the rest of them tomorrow, and I'll recap the city of Muncie tomorrow. City of Muncie. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Large. All right. So, no, I can't do it. I can't be rushed. I need to do it. I'll do it when I get off here, and we'll start out with it tomorrow. It'll be the first thing we start off with tomorrow. I'll start the show with my announcements, and that's what we'll do because I need to go through it and compute it all out. I can't do it. It's going to take too much time, and we're already at 2:15. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, you have a good rest of your evening. God bless each and every one of you. Have a wonderful night. Have a great Thursday. We'll see you back here at 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Be here on the dot at 9:05. We're going to start the Bilbrey picks. If you want to hear it, tomorrow's the day. Do not delay. They will be right here at 9:05. All right. Good night. God bless. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.